3000, knapp 3000 Exemplare. Also nur der da.
Ja.
Und der war gedacht für 15 Leute. Ja,
Okay.
und also hier ist der Bereitschaftsraum und das ist der Kampfstand.
Okay.
Die waren am Anfang noch getrennt.
Just a little shot. Not
You don't want me to turn the.
just a little shot.
All right, this is the bunker Albert,
It has to stay a little.
just outside of Dillingham.
Not,
This is an old style. It's
Don't
two
close it.
compartments. No
Really
latch.
close.
Yeah, we won't latch it.
okay.
We have to
What's
close.
this much?
Okay.
Okay, but
Clank.
don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
This is not the original oven.
Okay. Aber die anderen Sachen sind alle,
Ja.
was hier drin war.
Genau. Außer ein paar Kleinigkeiten, wie zum Beispiel hier der Panzerschreck. Die sind jetzt mittlerweile unbezahlbar. Das ist eine Kopie.
Was hier ist Panzerschreck, das
Das,
Ding
das
hier.
Rohrding da. Ja.
Ah ja,
Genau.
okay.
War ein Panzerfaust,
Ah,
die aber
okay.
wiederverwendbar war. Also die eigentliche Panzerfaust steht ja da so ein bisschen schräg hinten dran. Das Ding da, wo der Kopf wegfliegt. Und dann bleibt nur das Rohr übrig. Genau. Und hier ist halt eben dann, die Waffe wird hier mit der Munition, die davor steht, wird geladen. Die da am Boden steht. Und dann, ja, wird dann halt eben abgeschossen und war damals in der Lage, jeden Panzer zu zerstören. Man muss halt nur treffen und das war auch so.
Wie kann dann einer das Ding nur festhalten, wenn er losfeuert? Dann fliegt man das
Rückstoßfrei.
Rückstoßfrei.
Also muss man hinten dran wegbleiben, das hat man schlecht.
Achso.
Ein kleines Spielfeuer.
Okay.
Gut.
Also andere Bunker, die man sprengt, für Rinze gehen, da gibt es nichts mehr. Ne? Das, was die alles hochgejagt haben, ist kaputt.
Ja. Also es gibt hier viele, die gesprengt sind, aber da waren schon Legionen vor uns. Und ja, vor allem, man braucht einen Metallsucher, nichts zu suchen, der piept ja überall.
Ja.
Ist alles Stahl.
Ja.
Ja.
Ah ja, genau, kann ich auch noch sagen. Also hier, this bunker is built of 250 cube meters of beton and 16 tons of steel.
Okay.
That's in the beton.
In it. Yeah.
And then a part of that, because the doors and
Yeah.
that stuff. Okay, so this room was built for 15 guys, but you can see there are 9
Yeah.
beds, and there had to be 6 other ones here.
Yeah.
But normally there weren't all 15 at the same time inside, of course,
Right.
but about 10 maximum.
Yeah.
So it was not that full that it might be. It's just made for water. We can get your water, and then you have your personal reserve. And this
Klein.
Canteen.
bottles,
Water bottle.
personal bottle, and some little reserve for the bunker was in this kind of bottles with 4 corners.
Ja, hier.
Because when it's rectangle, you can put more inside than when it
Round.
was round.
Yeah, there's wasted space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Communication was made with this phone. There was a special net, so it wasn't the standard net. It was a special net for the bell rings, and there is a guy who asks you who you want to talk to. And all bunkers have their own number. So you can say, I want to talk to number 200, 300, 400, and they put the line together. And then you can talk. Okay. This battery that is used, or that is necessary for the current to talk, not to ring. the ring you produce yourself, what you choke, and that one. And down here, it's the arrival of the main cable. That's the original cable.
Wow.
And it arrives inside here, and then it's splitted into the different lines.
That's cool.
That is cool. That's insane.
It was
Good.
this system was still in use until the 80s, and then they changed to the digital system, and now it's different, of course.
Yeah.
But just was just about the same. That's a toilet.
Okay.
Scheiße.
Normally, this is not the best place. Normally it was here or here, but there's just very less space left, and so someone could fall, and therefore I put it here. But normally it was
Out of the room. Yeah.
of course. But
They didn't leave it outside?
please,
Didn't put the toilet outside?
No.
No.
but because it was just made for when you got attacked.
Gotcha.
Otherwise,
Go out in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep.
okay. Okay. Then we have the oven. Not that one. That's not the original one. This one is the original one. It's a quite well strange shape. That one. But of course there was a reason for it. And the main problem if you make fire is that you have some smoke.
Yeah.
Of course. So if there is a plane flying over it,
See the smoke.
you can see
Marks
smoke, and of course you know there is something. You
Something's
know.
there.
Of
Yeah.
course. So,
Yeah.
and therefore they had a system to avoid that. Normally every plane was announced, so you know that it was coming. And so they had a little valve here, but you could close. So there was no smoke anymore in between 5 seconds. But if you don't close the oven, smoke comes inside here, which is not very intelligent. So you, with this system, you could close the oven completely,
Uh-huh.
and then you close the valve, and fire went out because there was no oxygen.
Suffocates it. Yeah.
Very simple, but very efficient.
Yeah.
And this little thing, when you make fire, you always have smoke, and in the smoke there is some humidity, of course. And here you can see the tube, or
Hose is een schlauch, tube, yeah.
Tube.
Pipe, tube.
Pipe.
Yeah.
You. Yeah.
it's going into the wall of beton.
Yeah.
But in the wall it's always much more colder.
Yeah.
So you have a condensation, of course. And if then you have some water, and if water runs back into the oven, you have two problems. First, fire doesn't burn very well.
Right.
Second, you have more smoke.
Smoke.
So which you don't like,
Yeah.
of course. So first measure, this tube is a bit like that,
So all the comments.
It goes.
but just a little bit, because otherwise it doesn't work very well. When you make too much,
Right.
smoke,
Not enough draw.
doesn't the Zug, so it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
I know this. I know this too well.
So they just made some degrees, but if you use the oven for several weeks, you always have some
Stuff. Yeah.
inside, yeah.
Yeah.
And that could avoid that the water runs the right way. So it could, instead of the oil, it could come back.
Backwards. Yeah.
So they made just this little kind of thing. There's just a little hole inside here, and if there is some water coming here,
It drips.
drops inside,
Yep.
and you can open here and
drain it.
Release the water.
Yeah.
The combination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Drip spout.
Third kind of thing, interesting. Of course, you have on the roof you have a little Schornstein. That's all, where the tube comes outside.
Jimmy.
Germany.
Yeah.
Well, they are also upside there. They have a special. They put a special thing on top, so that the smoke that comes up is always very hot. And especially in winter when there's no wind, you have just the smoke coming up straight. So you could even at night you could see where the smoke comes from, if from far away.
Yeah.
Not even from plane, but if there is someone kilometers away, he could see the smoke. So they put this
It's a hat.
kind of hat on it, and so the hot smoke was
Diffused.
infused with the cold air
Yeah.
that was drumherum.
Yeah.
Gets mixed together.
Mixed together.
Yeah, it was mixed together, so
Yeah.
the smoke was still there, but it didn't get up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And last one, you can see this tube is like that. Okay. And 1 meter in the wall, you have the main tube that is straight on. Of course, if there is an enemy soldier on the roof and he sees the chimney, it's quite clear what he wants to do.
Drop a grenade.
Drops an hand grenade. Sure. And so this main tube is straight like that, and
Goes
on
down.
the bottom it goes like that.
Away from the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just near the entrance.
Yeah.
And it's closed from a little piece of metal. It just hangs on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if it would not be closed, the oven wouldn't not work.
Right.
Because it's
Yep.
the wrong way, wrong air.
Yep.
So they made this kind of metal. And if someone drops a hand grenade, it falls straight on. Sure, it doesn't come up here. It hits this metal, it opens,
Opens and
falls
falls
out,
out.
recloses.
Boom out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody thought.
Very simple, but very
Effective.
all
Used.
the time, or used all the time,
Yeah.
of course. And so if there was nobody over there, of course, they took the gun with them.
Yep.
And if you were attacked by surprise, you couldn't get outside and to
Get
go
to
to
the-
the other room.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately there was no door between these two.
Between the two.
Yeah. So they put the machine gun here, and if you would be attacked, it's just the defense of the two entrances. So that's the wrong direction of shooting, because this is the main direction. And this one is just to protect the two
Two
entrances.
entrances. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can see here, it's just about 10 meters. Such a machine gun is much too large.
Yeah.
But it's
Hey, it's better than nothing.
that's it.
This is a MG
42.
42. Okay.
Normally they use always the 34, but well, sometimes because this one shot too quickly and it produced too much smoke inside. And this was the ventilation, and you couldn't evacuate all that
Smoke. Yeah.
Therefore, they didn't like to use it too much. In the bunkers,
Right. Outside,
no problem.
great. Shoot too much is not a problem.
This is over here. The air comes in. You got two tubes outside, and one here and the other one there. They are placed as long as possible from each other.
As far apart. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you can see here, if there is a grenade who explodes in the ground, it comes down, and it will go before this first type tube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you still have the second one
Backup. Yeah.
to get the air inside.
Yeah.
So, and both, this one, that's the tube that comes from there, and the other one is in the wall.
Okay.
And they come together here, and there you can
Power
suck it in.
Yep.
Okay. And normally, if there were no attacks, these one were the filters. Well, this is the first filter that just takes some insects and
The
bigger.
big particles.
Yeah.
Pre-filter.
Yeah, this one. And then you made these two. This one is for the small particles.
Yeah.
And this one is active carbon.
Active carbon. Yeah. For chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the air that comes out here is always purified.
Purified.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if there were no attacks, what was the case most of time, you didn't use the filters because
Right.
they you use
Use them up. Waste them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just made this kind of tube inside. And another advantage you had, because normally you had to,
And crank it.
and it was much easier to turn.
With less resistance to push all the air through the filters. Yeah.
That's it. Well,
You know how it works.
very simple. Well, I'm quite lucky because I have a very rare motor, an electric motor, so it works without turning. But normally, this is very rare because these bunkers normally they had no electric current,
Right.
so it's not very necessary to put a motor when you have no current. Run slowly, and well, here you can. This is the first filter, like I said. You open, and then you can regulate here the air that comes inside. Okay? Not too much. 1.2 means 1.2 meters cubed per minute.
Per minute. Okay.
And there was a bigger one that was 2.4 for the big bunkers. But for the small one, it was about big. You can feel it. It's not too much, but
Is it cold or warm?
It's cool.
Cool.
better to turn yourself. Okay.
Now, question: when the bunker wasn't in conflict, or we knew that the enemy wasn't close to it, would the doors be open?
No.
They were always closed.
Yeah.
Always are latched down. Okay.
There are always two doors.
Yeah.
Because they always was prepared for a gas attack.
Okay.
Always. And therefore, you had this filter system, and you always have a system that always one door was closed.
Yeah.
So the air could never, or the gas could never get inside.
inside.
And you have several valves that you can't see it right now. Up here you have the red one in the corner over there. Yeah. That was the first valve. So if everything's closed, and the oven too, of course, you have a certain pressure, and a certain pressure, this valve opens, and the air gets into the second room.
Gotcha.
Same procedure, the third room, and then it goes outside. So you have always a circulation with just one ventilator. You don't have to put in all three rooms.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
But just if all doors were closed. Foot, yeah, foot. But just this one was just a reserve. So normally you ate, like I said, from the kitchen outside. But if you were attacked, or if the enemy would be outside,
Cut off.
what to do? You take that one. And it was well, here inside here you have two. The other one is over there.
Yeah.
And they calculated to get 1 week for 15 guys.
Ha.
So you can see it was not a buffet, it was very
Small.
Yeah.
it was really just to survive.
Ration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course there were always well, sausages and everything in tins because of the conservation. And of course sometimes people preferred to eat what was inside here than that.
Yeah.
But of course, it was forbidden strictly, of course, because when there is nothing left inside
You're
and you
SOL.
got attacked, no way.
No chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no way. Okay.